I need to make a phone call because first of all, how is that going to be to be continued when it's the final season, it's the finale, and I thought they said Iyanla wasn't coming back on no more, so how in the world is that going to be continued? I can't even talk. Is it going to be continued in her personal private life? I'm sure y'all probably already know, maybe I'm the one that's sleeping. But yeah, so y'all, this was a lot. And I can honestly say that this probably was one of my best. I really enjoyed this one the entire season. The best one for me. So let's get into it, y'all. Welcome back to our channel. My name is Kourtney and my husband Eddie is not on this review with us because I do Iyanla Fix My Life by myself. So if you're new to this channel, let me tell you what this channel is all about. This channel is about Kourtney and Eddie. We do relationship topics, reviews, and right now I'm doing Iyanla Fix My Life. And if you haven't joined the family already, what family? The co-ed family. If you haven't joined us already, please make sure that you go ahead and subscribe to this amazing channel if you're watching us via YouTube. And if you're watching us via Facebook, make sure you do what? Like as well as follow, okay? And on all social media sites that I post these videos, make sure you comment down below. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. It was called When Dirty Laundry Goes Viral. So basically, and I never saw this video, y'all may have, but a video went viral with the dad, which his name is Marcus, and he was in the video. I don't know who he was talking to or whatever, but it's a side video of him talking to whoever straight ahead. And the video was saying about, his wife didn't have to pay no bills, no mortgage, no cable bill, she don't have to buy no groceries, she don't have to do nothing. And that's what a real man is, being a provider, making sure everything's straight so his wife shouldn't have to do anything. And he also saying, about his girls, that if a man is not going to do, X, Y, and Z, then you don't need him in your life. So that's basically where that video went. And like I said, I never saw it. So it went viral and it got a lot of views and he was excited about it, but it caused issues within the home. Because basically the wife was saying, no, I think it was with her, is that in the comments, people was like, well, what is she doing? So what is she there for? What is she contributing and stuff? And so, like she just get there for the money, but she just let it be known that she's an educator. So, she's a professional herself. So that I guess that's just his model, maybe the way he was raised or not raised. And that's what he depicts as a man, is just being a provider. As far as the females, the girls, they said, you don't know our dad. We got issues. Dad may seem like this model, role model out there to y'all, but behind closed doors, a whole bunch of issues. So basically, that's it. And that's why they're there. So we are dissecting each family member as far as the wife, the son, and the 4 daughters. And then later on, the grandma come up in there with her shenanigans. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. So Iyanla decided to team up with Dr. Perry to tackle the men's side of it. So to tackle the husband and the son, because she wants, him to be able to speak to the man in them, which I thought was wise. I don't know if this is from maybe bad decisions or maybe sometimes the way people viewed Iyanla in the past, that she decided to pull in this Dr. Perry. And he may have been on here before, but I can't remember. So you have Jaden, which is 18. Dorothy, which is the grandmama, she's 73. Dad, Mark, okay. He's 55. I'm sorry. Mark, he's 55. And Ashley, which is 32. I think it's Shanine and Janine, which are 33. The mom of 42, and Jordan, the son, is 17. I think Jaden is 18. That's the daughter. So it looks like that he had 4 children before he got married to his current wife. And because I was looking at the ages, the mom 42 and then the oldest daughter is 33. So it looks like with the mom and the dad on how they met, and I'm just jumping ahead of this, but on how they met is that they went on a couple of dates. I'm thinking maybe 2 or 3. They went on a few dates and ended up developing a sexual relationship, and she got pregnant, and he like, she was like, well, I'm keeping the baby. He said, she said, I'm keeping the baby. And he said, well, he don't want to be known as a baby daddy. So they decided to get married. Okay. So from what I gathered, they really and truly did not know each other enough. They actually, I guess, built their relationship during their marriage. And she said she fell in love with him while they were married. So, whew. So the whole basis of it is that Iyanla wants him to know what a king is. You know, a lot of men have this idea of like, I'm the man, I'm the king and all that stuff, but they don't even have the qualities of being a true king, you know, and having their kingdom ran by a king, because they just, all they know is a provider, a protector, and that's it. You know, and they think that that's the idea of a man, but they don't have to allocate any other emotions that go along with that, you know. So no, anybody can do that. So the kingship, and I wrote all this down. She said to get to the kingship, you must have honor, communicate, clarity, self-control, integrity, accountability, vulnerability, authority, balance, responsibility, self-forgiveness, honest, and discipline. Okay, honey. A lot of men ain't making that quota. Iyanla asked the question, why is your kingdom? So she was talking to Mark. Why is your kingdom out of order? The queen helps the king to stay in order. Do you allow your queen to give you counsel? And the answer would be no. No, he don't. He don't, because he don't even listen to his own wife. When you are a partnership, when you get married, you should listen to each other, counsel each other. Just because you the man don't mean you know it all. In turn, God made the man the head and the wife to be the helpmate, as people say, the neck. Because if you the head and the wife the neck, you cannot turn this head without the neck, right? Ain't turning. It helps to keep it on its grooves. It really truly, it helps to keep it on its groove. You can shake your head, but you can't turn it without the neck. You can't. So that's what a wife, that's a good cohesive partnership. It's not that you get married and you pay the bills, you run everything, you argue, and no, that's so out of order. But that's the mentality of some men, and it's totally warped, and it's totally backwards, and it's falsehood. So you're teaching other men that as long as you pay the bills, make sure the house protected and the people are protected, even though you fussing, cussing, and doing all this stuff, that's manhood. Negative. So now Iyanla is talking to the mom, and I explained to you how they met and everything, and how she fell in love, you know, throughout the marriage. But she did begin to say how their relationship is that she is not sure if she's going to stay married to him because of the abuse in the relationship, the verbal abuse, the emotional abuse, and that 12 years ago, he choked her out, you know. So Iyanla was like, and you haven't forgiven him for that? She said, no, that's when the breakdown in the marriage took place. So 12 years ago. And I'm assuming, you know, he had 4 children before her. So I'm trying to think. You got the twins, you got Ashley, then I guess them last 2 will hit. Maybe they got another one out there somewhere. I don't know. So let's go on. Let's move right along. Y'all forgive me, but I think his name is Marcus. Maybe it's just spelled different, you know. Maybe I wrote it down different, but I think his name is Marcus. So he's sitting down and he's talking to Dr. Perry. And Dr. Perry's goal is basically to get him to work through his emotions, to help him to see. So a lot of stuff when Iyanla was talking to the girls and, you know, trying to get them an understanding, he was behind in a room with Dr. Perry looking at the camera so he can actually see his girls in live, in real time, you know, the emotions, the words that they say, everything. So he's watching all of this. But when it comes down to his son and how they had a physical altercation several times, and he's actually just talking to him about it, he said one thing that you need to learn how to do is you need to don't be so hasty to rush to rage. You need to take deep breaths and start thinking about it. Now let's move on to them sisters. That's what I wrote down here, them sisters. So you have the sisters that have a lot of issues even with each other. So they come in, and I think she talked to one of the twins first. I think her name was, let's go back, Shireen. I think it was it. She talked to her, and she was talking about how, you know, her and her sister Ashley got into it, you know, and she cussed her out and yada, yada, yada. So the other twin came in, was like, yep, she disrespectful, she this, she that. I ain't never had no issues with her, but she mouthed off and she popped off, and I put her in her place and yada, yada, yada. So the youngest came in, and she was just like, and then Ashley came in, and let me tell you something, Ashley name, this shit does not look like an Ashley. It looked like Ashley. It looked like, I think her name Jaden should have been Ashley, because Ashley looked like she finna play. Ashley, the name Ashley I think of is meek and mild and soft and gentle. But she finna rat into them girls right there. I tell you. But because she got all in their face. Like, I was like, is this finna be the Maury Povich show? Like, y'all gonna get her? Like, I thought security was finna get Ashley, but somehow Ashley was right here. I was like, okay, all right, this is what we doing. So I'm just saying, now me personally, I would have shut up at that point, because Ashley looked like she could have handled both of them twins at the same time. I'm just saying. So they get into it and have issues with each other, but Iyanla is so wise in what she does. She's understanding that their issue is really not with each other. It's the hurt and the pain and the stuff that they've been through over the time that they've been, you know, dealing with all these issues with their dad. And so that's what their issue is. That's their main issue. So to me, Ashley was about that life. So they're sitting down. She pulls Ashley to the side. She takes her Ashley out the room, and she just, you know, talks to her and said, baby, what is that hurt, that pain? She was just like, I wanted my dad. I need my dad here. I wanted my dad in my life. I wanted him to basically to validate me, to, you know, hug me, to kiss me, to be there for me. And that's what her anger is. And the other twins is like, they angry. Well, probably both of them, but one had her out. So she said, what is your anger? I'm mad at my mama. I'm mad at my mom. She said, okay, well, I'm finna put this chair here. You sit here, you act like your mama there. Close your eyes and you say everything. And baby, she let her have it. She let her have it, honey. I'm glad mama wasn't there. She let her have it. And she was just like, you know, what kind of mom is you? She said, I'm mad at you. It's all your fault. She had some curse words in there. She said, it's all your fault. What kind of mom is you? Why would you punish us for the relationship that you and my dad did not have? And she said, what kind of mother don't feed their child? She was letting her have it. And so they was able to get all that anger out. So the whole root of it comes to find out that they were mad at somebody else, mad at the parents, you know, and y'all let them know that, hey, your parents failed you. They failed you, point blank and period. But you got to move on from that. And I can honestly say, sometimes you cannot get mad at somebody for not being there for you. You know, one thing I wanted to say this is that my dad is deceased, but we didn't really have a relationship growing up. You know, when I was smaller, yeah. And then I knew my dad, but, you know, he really didn't come around. If I wanted to go see him, I could, but, you know. And so I really and truly don't know to this day. I would never experience the love that a father has for a daughter, or that daughter and father love. I never would experience that. You know, because I was robbed of that because my dad wasn't there for me. You know, so that's foreign to me. It's weird because I don't know it. but yet in turn, I don't despise anybody else from having it. Of course, me and Ed are on our second marriage. This is our second marriage, and we had children before we actually got married. So he has a daughter. So, their bond and their love is foreign to me, but I don't despise it. I know that, a daughter needs their father and vice versa. Mother needs their sons, and, children in turn need both parents, basically, but it seems as though these girls are missing their father, even though he's there, because it just sounds like he's just a provider. He's just absentee. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, and I know this from experience, children need their father. They don't care how much money you go out there and make. They don't care how much I don't care if you're a multi-millionaire. They need their father. They want to spend time with their father. They want to do things with their father. It's not about the money for them. And then anyway, let's move on. Come to find out that the baby girl had been violated when she was about 7 or 8, and she was too afraid to tell her dad. And then come to find out all the girls had. But they said, and the dad watching all this on the video. He's in another room. He's watching all this, and he is upset. Now, let me tell you something. That's one thing. If a man loves his children and you mess with them in that way, yeah. I can really understand why they didn't, but they should have told somebody. You know what I'm saying? They should have told somebody. But yeah. But they said, how can you expect your children to come to you if you get irate and mad at something like, I'm just saying, something for instance, like not taking out the trash? You think that they're going to feel comfortable coming to you and telling you that? How are you going to feel about that? And I get it. That's why you have to really truly put yourself as a parent in a place to where your children can always come to you. I don't care. Tell them to write a letter, send a text, anything. I used to tell my children, I don't care if you got to write a letter, send a text, anything. Tell me, talk to me. Because sometimes it may be hard to talk to a person face to face. Let me tell you something. I used to ask my children this when they were young. Baby, did anybody touch you? Anybody touch you? And I used to tell them stuff to say, like I would ask them questions. You know what I'm saying? I know what being violated is at a young age. So I used to ask my children something. And I was very protective over them. And in my mind, I'm wondering, like, where were these children? Who were they in the hands of? What happened? I do understand that some of them had different parents. But Jaden, she was there in the home with her mama. So but of course they didn't talk about that. So let's move on to the Jordan and how he really truly don't care for his dad. All these family issues, and children say that. A lot of people say they really don't care, but they care. They just brushing it off because they're hurt, and they now put up a wall. So he has no relationship. He said that he has no relationship with his kids. That's what he feel about his dad. None of his children are in a relationship with him. He mad, and he always mad for no reason. And he's talking about, the fight and the incident that they had together, and they done had several fights. Whew, Lord have mercy. So we're going to talk about that a little later. But the girls were able to end up writing a letter to their dad, getting all their emotions out and their feelings on how he makes them feel and all their issues. Let's move on to the mom. And I kind of touched on some of this stuff, but it seems like the mom has checked out of the marriage. She's tired of the arguing. She's tired of the abusive behavior. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter if a man is a provider. It doesn't matter if you ain't got to pay a dime or drop a bill. But if you is unhappy in that marriage, if it is toxic, emotionally, physically, mentally abusive, it don't even much matter if Masons get paid today or tomorrow. It don't matter if the mortgage. I would sleep outside and be in peace. Along the rest, and nothing they'll bother me. But I would sleep outside in peace than rather be in the house with emotional and mental abuse. Okay? Been there, done that. They ain't trying to go back. Hello? So I do understand this. She was an abused woman, verbally and emotionally, And it saddens her that her marriage is going to end, because Iyanla was just talking to her and trying to get to the root of the issues. And, just saying, would she be able to be all of those things to help her husband get to that place of, vulnerability, accountability, balance, all that stuff, whatever. She was like, she don't think that she's able to do that for him right now. So she's talking to, sitting down, and she's talking to her husband and basically telling her husband, do you know that you was abusive to me? And you taught I taught our kids on how it was okay for you to abuse me. So that's why they have all these issues now. She said that she can't remember the good times, and she just wants to be at a place of peace. Being at a place of peace is everything. I'm telling you, you can be at a place of peace and the repo man coming out there to take your car. You can be at a place of peace and you're about to be evicted, as long as you at a place of peace. Sometimes being in a relationship or marriage is not always what it seems. Just for the sake of being married, just to be married. No. I was, like I told y'all before, I think I told y'all, I was in a marriage for 20 years and it was very toxic. It was emotional, mentally abusive. And it took me 20 years to get out, but I got out. And when I found my peace, baby, I can run through the street butt naked. Hallelujah. That's how at peace I was. And you don't know the level of toxicity that you are attached to until it's no longer in your bloodstream. Let me tell you something. You don't know what's bad for you until you stop eating it. I don't know if anybody has ever gotten a colonics, and this may be TMI, but listen anyway. Sat there and listen. I don't know if anybody's ever gotten a colonics, but a colonics, when they take the water and go up your rectum and get all the stuff out and cause all that the waste and the bowels to leave your system. Well, I've got one before. And it really, truly, it's amazing on your body. You don't know how heavy you are until all that stuff release. I just felt that. Y'all can pay me, cash at me, because that was your offering. So until you get free of something, you don't know how bound you are. Until you get free of something, you don't know the level of toxicity it is in your life. And once you get free of that, you are absolutely free. You are at a place of peace. You are at a place of joy. You are at a place of rejuvenation. You feel like you were born again and you ain't give your life to Christ. You just got your life back. And there was one thing that she said, and I ain't even got to that. If I stay, I'm going to die. I need you to let me go. Which in turn, I thought that she meant a divorce, just like Iyanla said. I did too. I mean, what that mean? But I do understand this. When I got my divorce, I felt like, because I had gotten to a place where I now knew who I was, and I refused to be treated like trash again, right? So I left that relationship, that marriage. But on the terms, when I was asked to stay, I said, if I stay, this was my mind. And I actually told him that if I stay, I was going to hate myself. I felt the hatred, the self-hatred that if I stayed in this marriage, my first marriage, it wouldn't be because of me. It will be because of you. And bruh, I don't love you like that no more. I love myself first. And so I understand when she say, if I stay, I'm going to die. Because some marriages, relationships, or whatever, and they can be friendship, partnership, business ships. If you stay in it, you're going to die. I feel like I need to preach. Let me tell you something. You don't know how God is going to bless you once you decide to move. I will have to share that testimony with y'all. When I made a decision to move, just move, trust God, move out of that marriage, file for divorce, and really had nowhere to go. And God led and guided me the whole way. Let me go biblical. I was just reading this the other day. And it's in 2 Kings chapter 7, and you can Google it, and it's talking about the lepers. when they were sitting at that gate, they said, okay, listen, I know we lepers and we can't go around people because, don't nobody want to be around us because, we all nasty lepers, But are we going to sit here and unless we die? Are we going to sit here and die? Or are we just going to go over there? We understand it's a famine. We cannot eat. Are we going to go over there? And we know that if we go over there, the enemy is going to kill us. The other army, they're going to kill us. But are we just going to sit here, or should we just take our chances? For some of y'all, I don't know who this for. You've been contemplating whether you should leave, if you're in an abusive relationship, mentally, physically, emotionally, if you cannot get counseling and seek help, it's time for you to move. It's time for you to move. So for some people, if you go and look that scripture up, they say, shall we sit here and die? And come to find out, when they say, listen, either way we're going to go. If we go over there, we're going to die. We sit here, we're going to die. So let's just take our chances and just try that. So they took their chances and tried it. And you know what? The people was not over there. The army was not over there. They was able to go over there and get all the food they wanted, the gold they wanted, everything. It was just a free fall for them. So for some of you that may be watching this, you got to take a chance, and you just got to trust God. You got to trust God, but you can no longer be emotionally bound and in a toxic relationship because you're going to die. You're going to die mentally, physically, emotionally, because you know what? Somebody needs you. See, I had to get out for the sake of me first. And then I was able to be a better vessel for other people. But I had to get out for me. I'm free. I'm happy. I'm literally at the best place of my life, period. On so many levels, for so many decisions that I made. The best time of my life, and it's going to get better. But if you don't yet move from a place. And so she was just basically telling her husband, just let go, pull back the reins some. I ain't asked for divorce. I love you, but pull back the reins some and loosen up. We're going to be in the same house and not getting a divorce, but I got to work on myself. So, we're going to be in separate bedrooms and all that stuff. So y'all, I just had to stop and minister to somebody. Yeah, but so the husband ended up texting his wife because, he was like, okay, so you said you wanted a divorce. We didn't even come on here for that. I told you some stuff we're not going to say. We're not going to talk about divorce. We're not going to talk about none of that stuff. So Iyanla was mad and said, listen, you made a pre-plan to do what you wanted to do, but y'all came on here to get help. You the one wrote the show. So that's not going down like that. So, they talked about that and come to find out the wife didn't want a divorce. So anyway, the son and the dad sit down and they talk, and he apologized, for basically not being there and just being a dad that just wants to throw money at him. His name is Jordan, which is my oldest one name, which Jordan still seems to be a little standoffish with his dad, but that's probably through some hurt and pain and him just having to be on the defense and building this wall. But hopefully they'll be at a better place. Like this said, to be continued, so we don't know the outcome, outcome of everything. So the dad gets the chance to sit down and talk with the girls, and all of them express their feelings on what letter they wrote, and he wrote letters to them. And I'm telling you, this right here was a tearjerker in itself. So let's get down to this part, because this is going to be my final. If you are part of the giveaway, let me go ahead and put this in here. The word is Christmas tree. Christmas tree is a part of the Christmas giveaway, which will be aired on Tuesday. You will get a $50 Cashapp if you have been participating in this. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the end card will have all the details. All right, so baby girl says everybody in everybody getting their feelings out, they crying and stuff like that. Baby girl said, I got a question. Can y'all get my grandma in here? Iyanla was like, okay, I don't know what it's about. That I definitely don't know this, but yeah, get grandma in here. So she first apologized. Grandma, sorry, we've been so busy, you hadn't really had a chance to come in here and talk. But she wanted to know, Grandma, why you don't like me? All right, this is a very smart girl. I can say these children are very smart. I'm talking about that Jordan and Jaden are very smart, very intelligent, very smart. And she said, listen, I love all my grandchildren, but just some of them I don't like, and you one of them I don't like. Oh, Lord. Iyanla said, I want to, well, first of all, Jay was like, I want to know why. And her mama, she was like, and she's, listen, before y'all get that any energy, y'all know, like, before y'all get that any energy, don't worry about it. Because if a grandmama would come on here and sit and say something like that, she said, I'd rather for my eyeballs to fall out than find out why she don't like me. And it was a to be continued. What they do that at? So I don't know, you guys. I hope that we'll get a chance to see, because I sure want to know what the grandma got to say, because she looked like she a ball of fire with a bad attitude all by herself. You could just look at her and tell she looked like she full of a whole bad attitude, just a whole mood. That's her. That's grandma right there, whole moods. So I guess that's where he get a lot of that stuff from, because again, the sister did say, hey, we learned all this fussing and fighting, cussing people out, throwing stuff from our daddy. So that's where we get it from. So that's where we learn this from, and that's, hey. So, and then he said, and grandmama do the same thing. That's what they do. So that's what they learned from. And it looked like it. It sure looked like. So on that note, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this recap review. It was a 2-hour series, a 2-hour show, and I had to try to sum it up in less than 30 minutes or probably 30 minutes. So, all right, you guys, I will see you guys on the next video. If I don't see you before then, because I won't, I appreciate you guys rocking with me on this Iyanla Fix My Life episodes and watching my reviews. I really appreciate you guys. You have a wonderful and a merry Christmas, and I just thank God for you so much. I thank God for my co-ed family. You guys rock, and I love you. Don't forget to go with God and let God go with you, and I'll see you on the next video. Deuces.